Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to dive into a topic that's been a game changer for many of us in the software industry, that is prompt engineering for testers. So you have probably heard about AI and large language models like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude, but have you ever wondered how to make them an important part of our testing toolkit? So that's what we are going to talk about today. Prompt engineering is not just about asking the questions, but it's about asking the right questions to get the most valuable output from the AI. I will try to cover why this skill is so crucial for modern testers and walk through some practical examples of how we can use it to make our life easier and our testing more effective. So in today's session, we are going to discuss how we are going to generate the test cases like the generic test cases, exploratory test cases, usability test cases, negative test cases, API test cases, how we are going to write the database query and the tests around it, how we are going to create the test plan and the bug report using these LLM models. So let's get started. So I will be using Google Gemini to generate these test cases, the test plan, the database queries, the test around databases, the API tests, and the bug report. So let's start with the first one, how to create the generic test cases. So this is our user story that is related to login enhancements. What it is saying, as a user, I want additional login features such as staying logged in, password reset, and clear error handling so that I can securely and conveniently access my account. And these are the different acceptance criteria, like stay logged in option. Given I am on the login page, when I enter valid credentials and select the stay logged in checkbox before clicking login, then I should remain logged in across the sessions until I explicitly log out or clear the cookies. The second one is the password reset. This is again given I am on the login page. When I click the forgot password link, then I should be guided through a process to reset my password via email or SMS verification. Third scenario is the incorrect credentials for the error message. Given I am on the login page, when I enter invalid username password and click login, then I should see an error message such as invalid username or password, and I should remain on the login page without being logged in. There are few additional requirements, like for the security, the stay logged in option must use secure cookies and expire after a certain set duration. The usability, the error message should not expose whether the username or password is incorrect to prevent brute force attacks. And the accessibility, all messages, errors, confirmations must be screen reader friendly. And this is our prompt for that particular user story. I have attached that user story here, and it is saying you are a QA engineer. Based upon the attached user story, generate a set of test cases, include different type of test scenarios depending on the context, whether it's functional, negative, edge cases, or security. And for each test case, provide these details: the test case title, preconditions, steps to reproduce, expected result, priority, and then the tags. So let's hit the enter and see what kind of test cases it is generating. So it has generated these test cases for us. If you see, for successful login, these are the preconditions: valid, the registered user credentials, username and password are available. Navigate to the login page, enter a valid username, enter the corresponding valid password, click the login button. This is the expected result, and this is the priority, and this is the tag of the test. Similarly, stay logged in functionality success. This will check whether the login was successful or not. Then we are having third one, stay logged in, explicit logout. So this will check for the logout scenario. So many test cases like this it has generated, and it is giving us an option to export it to the sheet. So just if you just click on the export sheet, it has created it, and it is asking us to open the sheet. And if you open it, now if you open it, it will get opened like this. So now if you see, this has exported in like this, and you can easily just keep it in your test management tool. Either you can import it or whatever you want to do, you can do it. Okay. The second one is the exploratory test. So now what is the prompt? It is saying you are a QA engineer performing exploratory testing on a feature or flow. Based on the attached user story, generate a list of exploratory test ideas and edge case scenarios that go beyond basic functional testing. Your ideas should aim to uncover these areas: the unexpected user behavior, invalid or extreme inputs, unusual sequences of actions, compatibility or environment specific issues, and the last, security or privacy vulnerabilities. And each test should provide these details what we have in the earlier test, last test: the test case title, preconditions, steps to reproduce, expected result, priority, and the tags. So I'm going to attach the user story for this. So basically this is the user story which is pertaining to order tracking functionality. So as a customer, I want to be able to track the status and location of my order in real time, so that I have clear and up-to-date information on when to expect my delivery. Okay, and these are the acceptance criteria and some additional notes like in the previous scenario. Okay, so we have attached that txt file where we are having the user story for writing generating the exploratory test, and then this is our prompt. Okay, so now again hit enter. So now it has generated, and if we want to again export it in a sheet, it will do it for us. Now it has generated, just click on the open sheet. Now I have formatted the test, and we need to verify these whether these are correctly generated by the LLM model or not. So once after verification, if everything looks fine, and or if we want to make any changes, just do those changes and import it in your test management tool. Okay, so now the third one is the usability. So for usability also we will see this user story. This is related to wish list or saved items. So as an online shopper, I want the ability to save products that I am interested into a list for later, so that I don't have to search for them again and can easily find them when I'm ready to purchase. Okay, and these are the different acceptance criteria pertaining to it. And these are some of the additional notes: notifications, if there is any notification that should come to the customer, the usability, and the last is the performance. Okay, so for usability, again we are going to use this prompt. So you are a QA engineer reviewing a feature or user flow for usability and UX consistency. So based on the attached user story, generate a usability QA checklist to evaluate the experience from the user's perspective. And what we are seeing, organize the checklist into key usability focus areas. First is the navigation and flow. See how we are giving the clear and concise prompt: navigation and flow, feedback and error handling. These are the areas where we want to check the usability. Consistency and standards, accessibility, content clarity and micro copy. Last is the visual design and responsiveness. And for each checklist item, include the category, checklist item, and the priority. Okay. So let me add the user story for this. I have added the user story. I'll just click on this submit button. It has generated now, and this is the usability checklist. Okay, if you want to export it in the sheet, yes, this got created. Click on the open sheet. So this is the checklist what it has created. Now again I would suggest to review this checklist and then import it in your test management tool. or start with the execution. So now let's move back to the negative tests. So here is the prompt for the negative test. You are a QA engineer creating negative test scenarios for a given feature. Based on the attached user story, generate a list of invalid or unexpected input cases to test how the system handle errors, validation failures, and the edge input conditions. So again, these are the areas where we want to check this. Your test cases should include empty or missing inputs, incorrect data types, boundary values and the character limits, injection attempts or script inputs, unsupported formats or encodings, and the last is the unauthorized or forbidden actions, if it is applicable in this case. And again, same thing, the test should include the title, invalid input description, expected behavior, category, and the priority. I will just attach the user story for this. So the user story is already added. I'll just show you the user story once. This is the user story. As a user, I want to be able to schedule future payments for my bills so that I can ensure they are paid on time without having to manually initiate a payment each time. And these are the different acceptance criteria. Okay. And these are some of the additional notes. So I would recommend that whatever user stories we have, just upload as it is so that you'll get more better output. Okay. So now let's click on the submit button to see what kind of test cases this Gemini is generating for us. It has generated. Okay, so what I will do, I will just go to the export to sheets. I'll open the sheet here. So this is the test which it has generated. I would again recommend to go and review this test and then use it for the execution or upload it in the test management tool. Okay. Now let's move back to the API test. So here is the prompt for the API test. This is our API endpoint. So it is saying you are a QA engineer responsible for designing test cases for an API endpoint. Based on the API specified given below, generate a list of detailed test cases covering the following categories. So this is the positive happy path. This is the negative cases, edge cases, security related cases, and then the performance considerations. And again for the each test, we want to include these areas. Okay. So let's click on the submit button. Again, it is giving us an option to export these tests to sheets. So let's click on export to sheets. It has created for us and then just click on this open sheet. So this is the API test which it has generated. Again, the same thing, I would request you to just review this test before using it for the execution purpose or uploading it in the test repository. Then again come back to the Gemini. So for the database test, I'm just giving an input as a plain English language. I want to retrieve the order ID, customer name, and total amount for all the orders placed on or after January 1, 2025, where the total order amount exceeds $100. The results should be sorted in descending order based on the total amount. Okay, so let's see if it is going to generate this SQL query for us or not. So it has generated this SQL query for us and it has made some assumptions. If you want to change anything in these assumptions, you can change it. And based upon the above query, if you want to write this, so I'm just giving the prompt based upon the above query, please write the functional test cases. So it has given us the test cases. Again, if you want to export it to the sheet, we can export it. Just click on open sheets. So you can just verify these tests, whether these are applicable properly or not. If anything you want to change, you can change it, or else you can use it as it is in your test execution or upload it in the test repository. Okay. The next one is the test plan, how we are going to generate the test plan with using the prompts. So I'm again entering a new prompt for creating the test plan. So what I'm saying, you are a QA lead responsible for creating a high level test plan for a new feature or product. Generate a detailed test plan including the following sections. So the first is the scope, objective, test type, resources, training needs in case if anything is required, look after the test schedule, risk and the mitigation, entry exit criteria, item pass fail criteria, suspension resumption criteria, the test deliverables. Okay, so just click on submit button. So now it has created a high level test plan for us. Okay, so you can use it as it is. You can just copy paste all these sections and do some modifications based upon whatever the input items you are having in terms of user stories or different entry exit criteria, item pass fill criteria, suspension resumption criteria, the different test deliverables what you are going to share with the stakeholders. So all those things you can just update it, but the basic skeleton of the test plan is ready and you can easily use it from here. Okay, then this is the prompt for creating a bug report. Okay, so you are a QA engineer tasked with turning raw bug information into a clear professional bug report. Structure the report with the following sections. Title, so it will provide you the title, a concise descriptive summary of the bug. Then it will provide the environment details like the OS, browser, the devices what we are using for reproducing the bug, and the app version in case if we are using the mobile apps or the desktop apps. Then the steps to reproduce expected result, the actual result. As a tester, we need to mention the severity of the issue, and then the any additional notes in case of evidence we want to attach, or any recordings we want to attach, or the relevant log files from the Datadog or CloudWatch if we want to attach, then we can attach it here. Okay, so just click on submit and it will generate a template for us which we can easily use. This is the bug report which it has generated for the stay logged in feature. Okay, so you can go through this bug report, verify all the details, whether the browser, app version, the devices, whether everything is correct or not. If you want to do any modification in any of the steps to reproduce or the expected result or the actual result as well, just do that and check the severity. Okay, and these are the additional notes it has provided pertaining to the security or the privacy risk. Okay, so you can just add it as it is in your defect management tool, or you can just export it in the sheet and just maintain it in the, if you are maintaining it in the Excel file, you can share it with the dev team or the people who are fixing it. Okay, I will attach all these prompts and the user stories so you can practice it at your end. And if you want to do any modifications in the prompt, just comment in the comment section so that everyone can learn and we can use it in our projects. So just coming back to the conclusion, this prompt engineering is very important for us. It is not just a buzzword, it's a fundamental skill that's reshaping our profession. So it's shifting our role from simply executing the test to becoming a strategic orchestrators of the testing process, whole testing process. We need to master this art of crafting the effective prompts and which is going to help us in moving beyond the repetitive task or the tedious task and focus on higher value activities like risk analysis or truly understanding the user needs, business needs, or what is happening in the field. Okay, so basically these LLMs are our assistant, but we are the experts who provide the direction to these LLMs. The quality of our output is now purely directly linked to the quality of input we are providing it to them, and that's an exciting challenge to take on. I hope this has given you a clear understanding of why prompt engineering is a skill worth investing in. The future of testing is here, and it's being powered by the clever, thoughtful questions we ask to these LLMs. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.